Hey, it is I. It is Langston here. I'm back with another video. So I've actually been reading a couple different books. One of them is this one right here, Logic Pro for Dummies, because I have been just breaking down the basic fundamentals of the entire program so I can start to kind of mess around with like different songs and create, various tracks to kind of get a feel for like the different genres, if you will. And one of the genres that I really like is pop, and I believe we discussed this in like a prior video on my channel somewhere. Ooh, hold on, let me get my game password in. And of course this is off. I didn't feel like setting up my tripod, I'm sorry. Hold on, I'm up here. My god, where? I guess I can go and open GarageBand. Occasionally, like, I jump in GarageBand to make, like, random songs or, like, random things. And then I go on Logic Pro to kind of finalize them. Hold on, let me plug in my studio monitors. It's always good to have studio monitors, a subwoofer, and kind of just like the basics so you can hear it playing in real time out loud. Because sometimes various speakers sound different and that quality is just not always going to be there. So it's best to, at least what I've taken away from like multiple books that I've read and videos that I've watched, is like it's best to listen to it on various like platforms. So whether that's like studio monitors like these, or your headphones, your AirPods, or like even wired headphones, so that way you can see how it sounds to other people who aren't using like the same device as you. So, and another thing that I do recommend is listening to your song in the car on like the radio or something, because not only does it train you to be like, hey, like, yeah, I can picture myself on the radio because I hear it now, but just in general, it like helps immensely because you're like, oh, that sounds good in the car, versus I wonder what it would sound like in the car, and then you go and you eventually get to like play it in the car and it just sounds terrible, muddy, and just all that. You don't want to do that. So I recommend, like, even when you record just like little bits of snippets, you just play it in the car on the Bluetooth speaker if you can, because like it honestly, it just is a really cool experience overall. And like hearing my voice on the radio, well, not the radio, but like on the speaker, was actually really like just fulfilling to me. I was like, oh, okay, I don't actually ever have to like write or put out a song into the universe and hear it play on the radio, because I've heard it on my car speaker already. And sometimes when I'm driving, I'll record like voice memos that pop up immediately. And a few times I've had like some really great inspiration. I have to like find the recordings because I have over 100 something, maybe 200. It's just like random ideas hitting me on my way to work or on my way from work, and I just like, ooh, I like that. And then sometimes I have like background effects. Like I remember one day it was hailing and you can hear it like so clear, and I had like wrote a song around it hailing and all that, and like it was just really, it was a fun time. It was. And that's kind of also how I come up with a lot of the lyric concept videos that I have. I have them written in various places, and then I have like some stuff on my phone of how I want it to like look. But I have to still kind of, create music. And one thing that I've been working on lately is like looking at a picture of whatever it is and then just writing from there, because it also trains your brain to like be put on the spot. You're like, okay, write about this, and you're like, I got it, and then you just start writing. But it's better, like, if you want to make your music more cinematic, and I saw this posted somewhere and on TikTok, and then I've also like read it in a few books too, like the not the Addiction Formula. Oh, it's Writing Better Music. I don't know where that book went, because I also have it on my phone just in case like I can't always take the book with me. But it's like basically show them, don't tell them. If you do it that way, it makes it more interesting and colorful and just like immersive, versus if you're just telling them like, hey, you dropped your keys on the floor and it made a rattle sound. Like, that's boring. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I can't give you an exact example of how I would spice it up, because truth be told, like, I haven't really stepped out of my comfort zone to really just like push myself to think of how I would like rework that to make it more of like a show don't tell type thing. I'm still in the learning process of how to do that. And hopefully like it won't take me too long, because I catch on normally really quick, but with music, I like to feel the emotions. So whenever I am writing something, it comes from a place of like, either I'm feeling really, really good, or I'm feeling really like just terrible and down, and I just like putting all my emotions onto that paper. And I've like applied that to journaling so much that I was like, you know what, I should like actually apply that to music too. Whenever I'm like just feeling really upset, just go and just write all the things that I'm thinking. And literally from there, I've there were times where I used to like circle the words that stood out to me the most, and I would try to, you know, put them together. But ultimately, I didn't really have like the motivation to like continue the process. But recently, I was triggered, if you will, and the fire was lit under my ass, and like someone was being shady as fuck. So I was like, okay, well, you want to be shady, well, I guess I'm gonna put myself in it now, and I'm gonna make sure I show you exactly what you wanted from me the first time. And ultimately, like, sometimes you just need that fire under your ass. But here's kind of like a brief snippet of what I was doing yesterday. It's nothing major or crazy. It's like random. I don't know, like, I'm still trying to piece together, like, the intro, because I really like, you know, FX Risers, but the only problem is, like, when I'm trying to find out how I'm gonna make it work, and then I also still have to go in and balance everything so it doesn't sound out of place or crazy or weird or obnoxiously loud like it just did, and that's kind of why, why I've been studying this book so much, and, like, underlining and highlighting things, because I've mostly been underlining and circling things, because it like genuinely makes the process so much easier. Now when I look on Logic Pro, I know where a lot of the stuff is, and eventually I will actually do like recordings and videos of me getting into it. I just found this in my Logic Pro book, which is actually going to be extremely helpful. Okay. Sweet. And that's like another thing. I've been getting like a lot of older books and thrift books, and they come with like very valuable information somebody like scribbled down, or somebody like left do I have it over here? I don't wanna obstruct the camera. Another one had like a music sheet, And that was actually really helpful because I was like going through and trying to unpack what it is I'm reading, because I'm still kind of a beginner at reading music, but I took music theory and then I also started unpacking music theory on my own, so that way I could also read music and write music. Like, music notation is like very important to me, and I've read books where they're like, oh yeah, some artists, like, they never actually dive into music theory. Some of them don't even know how to read music, and I'm like, well, truth be told, it is an asset. It's not a requirement, especially in order to like sing or write music, but it is a big asset when you can do that. That way, say you want to transpose something, you're able to transpose it. Or say you want to write your own, so you can make it, so you can have an accompanist, I believe they're called, and you can like also have other people play it on various instruments. And truth be told, like, that's so much easier. Like, anytime I saw a video tutorial about how to play Halo by Beyonce on the piano, I was like, damn, how did they figure it out? And then I started to learn music notation and reading music at large, and it helped me understand, like, oh, okay. Because a lot of that stuff, you can actually transcribe it in your head and transpose it and all that. Like, I used to be really good at guessing what key major a song was in, but now, like, I'm actually unpacking it to where I can just hear it and just automatically know. Because, like, for me, my biggest issue with music in general was, like, the audibility. For me to just, like, listen to it and be like, oh, I know. But then another book that I'm reading is Becoming Talented, and it basically unpacks how you don't even have to listen to the song, and you'll be able to just get it down. And I was like, how is that possible? But when you start reading that book, and we'll like possibly later on cover a few like pages and chapters of the sections that at first I was struggling with a lot, and then I started to understand, because a lot of those chapters actually helped me to really like hone in on the ideology of being able to literally just look at a song and know exactly how it's like, how it starts, how it's gonna sound. And it takes a lot of the guessing work out of it too, especially like when you're trying to figure out like, oh, what key major that's in, so you can like play it in that same key major, or customize your vocals to that key major. It's kind of like such a relief when you know already off jump, like, oh, okay, I know this is in A minor or A major. Like, it's nice. And then I had circle of fifths and circle of fourths chart. It was hanging up, but then I like had to like create new space, so I'm probably gonna put it back up, because I was also learning perfect fifths, perfect fourths, inversion. I have some of it stored in my mind, but not nearly as much as I would like it to be ingrained. So there's just like a lot of different things that I want to work on. And then I had another video clip that I recorded the other day that I'm going to pop into this video. To be quite honest, I forgot what it is that I talked about in that video, only because it was a couple days ago and a lot has transpired since then, and I've been in my feelings since then, so that kind of like was the reason I had the fire lit under my ass. But yeah, honestly, I hope this video wasn't too much rambling, but I'm sure it was. But anyway, thank you for supporting me on this journey, because it's a very interesting journey to be on, especially when you're not musically inclined. Growing up as a kid, I used to love music, singing, dancing, writing, but I never stuck to it, which is why I never evolved until I got much older. But at that point, I was always hearing like, oh, you're either born with it or you're not, which is a complete and utter fucking lie. It's just a way of gatekeeping people from being happy and pursuing their actual passions and their dreams, because you can develop anything. There's like I said in one video, there are some people with like a really nasally voice who, once they discover their voice, they can make it sound extremely beautiful. And there's like a bunch of singers that people say like can and can't sing. It's completely subjective. So don't even let people shit on your dreams just because they don't think that you have the voice for it or that you're cut out for it. All it takes is determination, and you have to make 100 different terrible ideas before you get that like one brilliant idea. And honestly, I've been starting to live by that, and it's been such a saving grace. Like, such a saving grace. Because, truth be told, like, I never thought that I would dive into music at all. And once, like, I saw that quote, it just, like, changed my life for the better. Because I'm just like, you're right. Like, no matter how many terrible songs I, like, wrote that will never actually see the time of day, they're helping me get better day by day. And then all the books and information I'm taking in is also helping me keep a mental note of like what I want to see or what I want to hear in a song, and make it easier for me to organize it, you know? But thank you for just sticking around and watching this video. Like, me talking about a lot of nothing, most of it. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys have a great day, week, night, you know? And we will be in touch. Hey, okay, so, I decided that I need to, spend at least maybe like 30, like, I'd say about 30 minutes, just sitting down and just writing, and I do actually have a book that is going to help me, you know, figure out kind of like in what direction I want to take my writing in, because I genuinely, like, I want to, like, sit down and actually, like, write music, but I also do love journaling, and I feel like it could actually be really cool if I, like, journaled, but I wrote it in a way where I could, like, turn it into lyrics later on. This book is actually extremely helpful because it has, like, exercises in it, and, genuinely, like, it's just, like, a really good read, because it also gives you, like, examples, and, it talks about, like, various styles of writing. Let me see. For example, it shows you how to do, like, object writing. So basically you, like the heart-shaped pillow, you basically write your song or whatever you decide you want to write based on like the object, exactly what it sounds like, but it kind of gives you like a different perspective when you are object writing, and it goes into like how you can use all 5 senses to kind of like, you know, describe it. So taste, touch, smell, what you hear. And I think that's like a really useful tool, especially when it comes to like describing situations or like locations where you want people to be immersed into the story. Another one that I actually look forward to practicing is the perspective writing. That one is like the one I look forward to most, because I always have like different perspectives, but I don't know how to like write from those perspectives. Like I always stick to like one perspective, and I feel like it would be a game changer just to like switch up the perspectives. Not saying that like I plan on like being a big artist or anything, but like it would just be really fun. Just, and truth be told, like after I finish this entire book, like I feel like my entire world is just gonna change for the better, even if I don't decide to like pursue music like as a full-time thing, or like it just remains like a creative outlet for me. Like I think it would be really cool. Another thing I have, I don't know where it's at. but it's a book on how to like actually write melodies so they're like memorable and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. And normally, like, I would be someone who kind of like hides what he's doing because I feel like a lot of people should see the magic versus like seeing all the behind the scenes stuff. But then I was like, well, I mean, it's not gonna matter anyway, because at the end of the day, like, my particular goal is to just get better at what it is that I enjoy doing. But at the same time, if I can help, smaller artists or any like artists of any magnitude get like inspiration or find a way to develop their craft even more, then that's what I'm here for. Like, I would never be in competition with anyone else, because I know what my strong suits are, my weaknesses are, and I know like where I definitely want to improve. And at the end of the day, like, the only competition I have is me. I will never look at anybody else as competition, even if, like, say I did become famous and I like ended up having a monumental career. Like, why am I gonna be mad at the next person coming up? Even if that person were to take money out of my pocket, I'm kind of like, I've developed so much inner security that I just don't care. And like, that may sound crazy, that may sound like really crazy to people, but like, I'm just here to live my life and enjoy the process. Like, I'm not looking for the only way that I look toward the past is if I need to get like inspiration, or I want to talk about a situation that affected me on a multitude of levels, but like, I'm only addressing it because I feel like it would make a good song or something. And then the future, like, I don't even look toward the future anymore because I'm living in the present moment. I got tired of just thinking about like, like, where am I gonna be? What am I gonna be doing? Like, at this point, I'm basically slowly dying, being fixated on the past or the future instead of living in the present moment and just enjoying life. So, I had a lot of growing to do, and it was not easy, but yeah. Anyway, that's just like a little touch in, but yeah, and I will be adding more to this video. I just wanted to do a quick recording. Yeah.